Okay, so many of you guys have played some form of a game in the past week or two, whether it be on your smartphone or a PlayStation or an Xbox or even your Chromebooks. So there's been a long ongoing debate on the effects that video games have on children and adolescents. And the three topics that would need to be covered for that are the medical effects that video games have with those individuals, the time that the children have to play those and how they manage that time, and the correlation with the schoolwork as they're playing them. Now, to start with the medical effects, many believe that playing a game will be stress relieving because it takes you away from your everyday life and it's just relaxing in a sense. And along with relieving stress, it can also relieve pain. And Cosmin Miha developed a physical therapy game for the Xbox Kinect, how to make it more fun to do your physical therapy at home, since many will not do it because they find it boring and just not fun. Now, on the other side, it's not always good because many people who will play games will gain weight as well as that because they will just play it. And a study by Dan Hogan from Science Daily states that teens who play an hour a day will consume more calories in short term than 1 hour of resting. And this also can lead to aggression among teens because Ryan Jaslip from CBS News stated that a Norway shooting, the police found a large collection of violent video games in the shooter's basement. But many have had problems with the amount of time they spend on these, but many have been known to make better decisions and improve their cognitive flexibility by playing these games. Because John Erickson from Medical Daily conducted a study with 72 people, and they asked each of them to play 40 hours of either StarCraft, which is a real-time strategy game, or The Sims, which is a passive life simulator. And of those people who played the StarCraft game, they have shown significant improvements in the cognitive flexibility opposed to the people who played The Sims. And this also improves your hand-eye coordination, because a study by Dr. James Rosser Jr., many surgeons and medical students who played these simulator games showed a significant improvement on laparoscopic surgery. Now, on the other hand, it's not always a positive effect with this, because many will just not be active. They'll gain weight, and it'll be a waste of time to play all these games, and they'll also spend a lot of energy exerted instead of playing a sport or doing something outside. And they could also be learning a skill or another trade instead of sitting inside doing all this. They could be doing a number of things like fixing a car, or reading a book, or even doing homework, which leads into my next point of school performance. A study by Aaron Dunham said playing a couple times a day or a week will significantly improve your math and science performance opposed to someone who never plays anything. Now, that's not always the case, since people who play daily will not show an improvement. But this can also improve your problem-solving skills, because Natalie Walters stated that assuming the role of a criminal, like in the game GTA, you can process info faster and keep track of up to 3 times more information in a high-stress situation opposed to someone who does not play anything. Now, many people will in the classroom setting will lose focus and get sidetracked during a class lesson because they'll be playing a game instead of studying for the lesson beforehand, so they won't know what's being covered and they won't follow along. Many people will also develop an antisocial behavior and won't want to actively make a friendship or just even interact with individuals at all. So in conclusion, there are benefits and ill effects for video games and treatments associated with any underlying symptoms. And they have been associated with a large waste of time or even a wise way to spend your time. there have been direct correlations with physical performance and work. Now, a coin has two sides, just like this controversy. Now, it might not be in the middle of that. The type and duration of games should depend on the individual, not like a set guideline for everyone. So why not let the coin run on its side? Any questions?
Okay, like according to psychologists, sometimes children can learn things and sometimes they're born with it. Do you think that when they're playing violent video games, they've always had that and the violence brings it out of them when they're playing the video games, or do you think that they've learned it through playing video games?
I think it can go hand in hand like that. Like, I mean, given like everyone will like be born with like some form of aggression or something, but I think, you know, you can always learn something from a game. It's not always good. Yeah.
You talked about surgeons and medical students. What kind of games were they playing? Were they necessarily violent, or were they
were
anything?
actually like simulators and like, some of them were like surgical things, but they weren't like, it wasn't Grand Theft Auto or anything. It was just more like surgical simulation games, but it was still like,
So it was a virtual lab, basically.
yes. Anyone else? Matt?
Why do you think they target violent video games instead of violent movies or violent books?
Because I feel that parents just think it's easier to target a violent game, so instead of a movie or a book, because games have just been introduced like in the past couple decades.
My question was maybe in relation to that. Did you find any research about other types of media that have an impact on student behavior or just behavior in general? I guess
That's not what I focused on, but I'm sure there is stuff on movies and books and other media.
All right.